Now we'll bring us to a nice smooth stop with the brake. Gas.
Jay and Pamela had always dreamed of traveling the world together, experiencing new cultures, and creating unforgettable memories. However, life had a different plan for them. Financial constraints, demanding jobs, and unforeseen circumstances kept them grounded, their aspirations of global adventures remaining just that, dreams. One evening, as they sat in their cozy living room, flipping through travel magazines and reminiscing about their youthful ambitions, Pamela sighed. Jay, do you remember when we used to talk about backpacking through Europe or road tripping across the states? Jay chuckled softly. How could I forget? Those were the days. But you know, life has a way of steering us in unexpected directions. Pamela nodded, her gaze distant. I know, but sometimes I wonder if we'll ever get to experience those adventures. Jay took her hand, giving it a reassuring squeeze. Pam, we've had our share of adventures, just not the ones we envisioned. But maybe it's time we start creating new ones. Inspired by Jay's words, Pamela proposed an idea. What if we start with something small? Like taking driving lessons together. We could explore our own country, visit places we've never been, and rediscover the joy of the open road. Jay raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Driving lessons? At our age? Pamela laughed. Why not? It's never too late to learn something new. Plus, think of all the places we could go once we have our licenses. After some deliberation, they agreed to embark on this new journey. Little did they know, this decision would not only change their lives, but also teach them valuable lessons about resilience, safety, and the importance of embracing change. The following week, Jay and Pamela enrolled in a local driving school. Their instructor, Mr. Rahman, was a seasoned driver with a wealth of knowledge and a patient demeanor. On their first day, he introduced them to the basics of vehicle safety. Before we even think about starting the engine, Mr. Rahman began, we need to talk about seatbelts. They're not just a precaution, they're a lifesaver. He demonstrated how to adjust the seatbelt properly, ensuring it fits snugly across the hips and chest. A properly fastened seatbelt distributes the force of a collision over the strongest parts of your body, reducing the risk of injury, he explained. Pamela listened intently, absorbing every word. Jay, on the other hand, had always been a bit skeptical about seatbelts, believing that as long as he drove carefully, he didn't need them. But Mr. Rahman's explanation made him reconsider. Remember, Mr. Rahman continued, wearing a seatbelt increases your chances of surviving a crash by more than 50%. It's not just about following the law. It's about protecting yourself and your loved ones. This lesson marked the beginning of their journey, not just to obtain a driver's license, but to understand the profound importance of safety on the road. As weeks passed, Jay and Pamela faced numerous challenges. Parallel parking seemed like an insurmountable task, and navigating busy intersections was nothing short of intimidating. There were moments of frustration, self-doubt, and the temptation to give up. One evening, after a particularly challenging lesson, Pamela slumped onto the couch, exhausted. Jay, I don't know if I can do this. It feels like we're never going to get it right. Jay sat beside her, offering a comforting presence. Pam, remember when we thought we'd never be able to travel? Look at us now, planning our first road trip. This is no different. We just need to be patient with ourselves. Inspired by Jay's words, Pamela decided to research effective learning strategies for adult learners. She discovered that breaking down complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps could be beneficial. Applying this method, they focused on mastering one maneuver at a time, celebrating small victories along the way. Their perseverance paid off. Slowly but surely, their confidence grew, and the once daunting tasks became second nature. They learned that setbacks were not signs of failure but opportunities to learn and grow. Months later, Jay and Pamela found themselves behind the wheel, embarking on their first road trip together. The wind in their hair, the open road ahead, and a sense of freedom they hadn't felt in years enveloped them. As they drove through picturesque landscapes, they reflected on their journey, not just the physical miles traveled, but the emotional and psychological miles they had covered. They had faced their fears, overcome obstacles, and emerge stronger as individuals and as a couple. One evening, as they watched the sunset from a quiet roadside diner, Pamela turned to Jay. "You know, this feels right. Like we're exactly where we're supposed to be." Jay smiled, taking her hand. "I couldn't agree more. Here's to new beginnings and the adventures yet to come." Jay and Pamela's decision to take driving lessons together transformed their lives in unexpected ways. They learned that it's never too late to pursue new skills, that setbacks are part of the learning process, and that safety should always be a priority. Their story serves as a reminder that the road to personal growth is often winding and filled with challenges, but with determination, patience, and a willingness to embrace change, we can navigate any obstacle and find joy in the journey.